Okay, hello. Um, okay, I'm back with Madonna. I'm back with this Madonna death date thing. I can't let it go. I'm sorry, I just can't let it go. Die Another Day. Why am I even looking at Die Another Day? Why am I back on this Madonna thing? Okay, quick story. Um, I'm dropping my wife and kids off the other day, and I got Danger Zone playing on the car radio, and I'm thinking, oh, interesting. Anytime that song comes on, I'm always thinking of Top Gun. Okay, and we just happened to pull up to a stop sign, and my wife just reads the car in front on the tailgate. It's got Maverick, and she just reads it out loud. Maverick. Okay, I wasn't even looking at it, but she just reads it out loud, and I'm like, why am I getting all these Top Gun references? I guess it was a Ford or something. I'm not quite sure what brand it was, but I don't keep up on the cars anymore. But she's like, Top Gun? Yeah, Top Gun references, the radio, and you saying Maverick. Oh, okay, yeah. She's like, that's the kind of stuff you come up with, Anyway, I'm like, well, didn't really think too much more of it, but I'm like, yes, it made me think. Anyway, I'm just happened to be looking at Die Another Day, and this pops up, Maverick, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of locked in now. I'm kind of going down the rabbit hole already with that. And so this date here as well, this October the 22nd, has a personal reference for me. So I really am biting, on that fish. I'm really biting at the law, and so this is the rabbit hole. I'm going to take you down it now with me, and you can see what you think. Again, the music video for this, okay, there's a scene in that where there's a part in it where there's an arm on a suit of armor that falls off as Madonna is fighting with her twin self. And again, we're with the James Bond film, and it's a Pierce Brosnan film, so GoldenEye springs to mind. That is heavily loaded with stuff, and Pierce Brosnan himself is heavily loaded as well. So there's that little connection there, I suppose. But this arm that falls off, which I believe is also re-referenced in what's it? Excuse me, is re-referenced in Lady Gaga's 911 video. There is a part to that right at the start. Well, not right at the start, but before what I believe is the Hoover Dam reference, and then it goes to the Space Needle, and then the Golden Gate Bridge. But before the Hoover Dam reference in there is a scene with a suit of armor arm and a little doll that kind of reminds me of the Who's That Girl character. And so, I'm I'm getting more caught up in this rabbit hole. But that arm thing, the arm getting excuse me, the arm getting falling off that suit of armor kind of reminded me of the Finis Temporis video that he did on 127 hours. Spoiler alert, where the guy has to cut his arm off to get out of the cavern and save himself. Okay, again, the cavern, it's not really a cavern, it's a gully, it's a groove. Yeah, get into the groove with Madonna, where you've got to get back out of that groove, and cutting your arm off may be the way. That arm coming off the suit of armor kind of reminded me of that idea, and that's what's got to happen. Yeah, the hand is what manifests the fictional ideas that we have. Okay, so the hand, we can have these ideas, and that doesn't really take us out of balance until we manifest them into the physical world, and we use our hands to do that. Okay, so this is the the key thing about that hand having to be removed, that is what that is saying, is you gotta have some restraint. You know, that's what you really, metaphorically speaking, that's what you need to do, is remove the hand. Stop manifesting crazy ideas that take everything out of balance into the world. Okay, and you've got the symbolism. Here's the, I don't know if this is just what artwork this is for it, but you know, here's the womb up the top here, the matrix, the blue and white of the Virgin Mary. This is the fictional waters, you know, and then down the bottom here we've got the upright arrow, the phallus of man, the sun. Look at the colours, and in the middle we've got the black pearl stopping him getting out of this trap here. Okay, he just needs to get this blockage out of the way. Okay, so that he can balance both sides of reality without being trapped behind the eclipse. Okay, without being trapped by the moon. Right, so it's pretty interesting. I'm suspecting that there's a lot more in that film. Okay, what do I want to say? This 127 is important. Let's look at the gematria and let's crack on with the actual decode now. 127 in the reverse just for Madonna, and then we can also, and this 37 is also important. You know, well, they're all important numbers, but and then if we put our full name in, we got a 195 and 87 as well, which is important. This 111, again, all important numbers really. Excuse me, I'm just having trouble here with my throat. Where do I want to go from here? So just keep them in the back of your mind. This 195 will be important here in just a second. We've got some other important things that I want to say before we get on deep into the decode here, and I want to look at the chart of Lorraine. Again, if you don't know what this is, hit me up in the comments. I'll send you in the right direction for a video on it. This is a table of balancing numbers basically, and of course these are going to reference what we're searching for, which is balance. Okay, and what we've had happen recently is we had one of the matrix figures die. Okay, the queen died. Okay, and so we're looking for another queen to die, maybe a pseudo twin queen. Okay, because it's all about twins. Yeah. If we can get a twin reference in anywhere, that's what the reality wants to do, right? Because that's what you're controlled by right now, is a fictional twin, a clone, if you will, of oneself. It's that birth certificate person. It's so important to understand that, and I've really got to do some more videos on it for people, but so many people buy into the legal system, and so many people get trapped by that thing. They just don't know who they are. Okay, but, and again, it goes deeper than that. It goes to an individual spiritual level as well, with the ego and the false ego that we create, and all the fears and basically the fears that thing puts into you, and that leads us down a road of an unbalanced path. Let's put it that way. So anyway, old Queenie dies, and we've got basically this whole column referenced with the Queen, one way or another. This whole column's referenced. We've got the death, 8/9. We got the burial, 9/19. We got the birthday, the Twin Tower, the 9/11 event as well referenced here with the 254, and this 364. That's referenced with the coronation of Charlie Boy. Okay, we can look at some numbers on that at some point in time, and maybe did I cover that a little bit in the last video? I really can't remember what I've covered and what I haven't covered now. But yeah, we can get a reference here back to the Queen with Charles's coronation. What I also want to say is this is one short of a year as well. Okay, 364 instead of 365. And whenever we're dealing with the feminine type symbol, that's always the eve. Yeah, the matrix is the eve, and the eve is the day before the day of. You know. So, but it would make sense if we've got one queen here and we've got another queen, the Queen of Pop. It would make sense if our target date is the 10th of November. It would make sense that these numbers here would be referenced somehow with Madonna's death. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to get to the dartboard and show you where this stuff is on the dartboard. But the first thing I want to do, and just to keep it simple, because it gets really complicated on the dartboard, showing you all the where things cross over and all that stuff. First thing I want to do is just go down through here, okay? Because there's just a couple of things I want to point out. Number one, we're in the 10. We're at the 10 at the top here, right? In the 10 column, okay? So already that's shouting out October, all right? Then we've got this 5-5. 5-5s are 25, okay? Now bear with me on this because it's just another nail in the lid of the coffin for me. If we come down to the bottom here, we've got 22, 25, okay? 225, but we've got 22, okay? This is our reference. This is our date on Die Another Day, and then look what we've got on the end of this. 25. Okay. We've got a 10 at the top, and then we've got a 2-2, and then it's Die Another Day, and here's the 25. I don't know. Pretty interesting stuff already. Let's go to the dartboard. Alright, I've got dartboard in here. Here we go, right? I've got I'm going to try and draw lines here, but okay, first thing to say is the caveat to this is I am not going to do all the number jumps because it just gets way too complicated. If you are interested in me doing some more number jumps with this thing, I will, at request, do another video on this. I'm condensing this down. Be my guest and go ahead and get your dartboard numbers up, and the date that we use on the startboard as our start date is 5/21, May the 21st, okay? And then we just count on numbers based on mostly what's across from one another, okay? What's sort of balancing on the teeter-totter. But every once in a while we'll use numbers, adjacent numbers as well, okay? So kind of opposites and adjacents is what we're using. So to cut a long story short, what happens is I don't know if I want to explain this top part again or not, but we've got Christ's birthday here with the 12/25 going this way, okay? And then we the day that this thing happens, the day that Christ is born, right? Well, the man is born. We go directly into directly to jail. Do not pass go. We go directly into jail, right? So we're into a reversed world, an upside down world, okay? And here's our 5/21, which is the reverse of 1/25, okay? This is just a condensed 12/25, and then we're going in reverse here. So this is us in the matrix. So we're doing all our number jumps from there because we've got to get back to this 12/25, right? Now, to keep this simple, let me show you now. This is our Madonna. Oh, blimmin' hell. Here's our 12, and here's our 2 across from one another. And we've got basically a 1-2-2, right? And we just stick a 0 in there, and then we've got a 10-2-2. So we've got our date here that's on Die Another Day, okay? So that tells me if it's Die Another Day from this day, Well, it's either going to be on this day or this day, okay? And so if we look across, right, we've got some gematria numbers for Madonna here. Here's our 195, which is interesting, right? And if I was to plug 195 into days on from this date up the top here, the 521, we would get to 12/2, but it would be December the 2nd, okay? And again, that's an eve date, okay? Because we want to get to this 123 here, okay? And 12/2 is the day before 123. Okay, so we've got to move on. What it's telling us is we've got to move on to this 3. Okay, so bear with me on this. So already we've got a nice little reference there with Madonna's, one of Madonna's gematria numbers. Okay, and this is, again, this is doing double duty, this 122, as a 22nd of October and a 2nd of December. Right. The other gematria number that we were interested in was the 127, yeah? The Tower 1, the Tower 2, and the Tower 7, as 88 Finis Temporis would say. So, another 9/11 reference, and of course 9/11 is the reference to going into the fiction, going into the, the Matrix. That is the loss of God. That's the loss of the number 7. Okay, that 7 disappeared, right? So what we ended up with is just, instead of a Holy Trinity now, we just ended up with twins, right? And it's that other twin that controls you through the, through the legal fiction, if you like. So we've got to get back to the Holy Trinity. So we've got to come from this 2 back to this 3. So here's our numbers again with Madonna, the 127. Okay, and we've got to now go to what this actually is 172, right? Because 172 takes us to November. Oh, blooming hell, I can't write with this mouse. November the 9th. Okay, that's where this 172 takes us from 521. Okay, so that's our first number jump. Okay, to a 9/11, to a 9/11 date, and re-reference with the 127 of 9/11, the towers. We've got to go to the next day. This is This is November the 10th. Okay, if we do the 173-day jump, okay. Oh boy, wish I would come down a bit more there. If we do 173 days, that's going to take us to November the 10th. Okay, I can't even bother to write November anymore. Just November the 10th. This is our target date right here. Okay, and we have a number that's the other side of our October the 22nd here. Okay, and this other number, we've already done that. We've already looked at this 195. Okay, and that took care of the 123 here. Now we're going to look at the other side of this 122, yeah, this eve here, this 2, right? And what's on the other side? It is, I'm going to tell you in the order that it should be, I think. It's 157. This is this number right here. Okay, this is 157, and if we go 157 days, okay, if we go 157 days on, it's going to take us to the 25th of October. Okay, so that gives us yet another target date, right? Now, just out of interest, if we were to reverse this bottom, like this day here, that kind of references, as we were saying before, this 10, 22 to 25, right? If we reverse this and go 522 days, guess where it's going to take us? It's going to take us to the 25th of October again. Now, get ready to be completely blown away here, because when we go into the matrix, yeah, we're going the right way around, yeah, and then simultaneously, and again around the metaphysical here, the 5, simultaneously everything is flipped backwards, all right, it's flipped upside down. Okay, so we're going this direction now. So we were going the right. It's weird because we're going this direction anyway, 12, 25, but then suddenly there's a flip and everything's backwards. Okay, right here. Now, if we want to get back to this thing, we were going this way, right? Hang on a minute, we're going this way right here. If we want to get back to it, we've got to go back this way. Okay. So let's just undo that a minute so we can see what we're looking at here. But if we read this number backwards, 10, okay, 25, okay, do you see that? 1025. Did that blow your mind? I'm not sure. It's pretty interesting. You know, what we're dealing with is, well, there's a couple of ideas here, but we've got the 1, right, that is in, you know, we've got this 1, we've got the 25 of the coronal ring down here, the outer bullseye, and the 1 with it, okay? The 1 is trapped in that, okay? So this is where the 1 is trapped in this ring. We need to get back to the center of the bullseye that's unrestricted, okay? And that number is 50, okay? Let's write it down. And the 1 needs to be there, okay? That's where we need to be at, okay? So we need to come away from this number, this 521 here, and we need to go back to the 51. Okay, we need to be the 51. We need to be one with God. And again, here we are, the 1 over here. What's separating us from what God should be over here is this 2. Okay, we're separated. Anyway, that's what needs to happen. I know I'm waffling now, but we're being controlled by the twin right now. Okay, and we need to get back to the Holy Trinity. If I could draw it on there, we need to get back to the Holy Trinity. Okay, so this is this is where we've been going around on this cycle, and of course this is mirrored with stuff that's happening on this other side. 2 more little things while I'm on this video. What do we have at the bottom here? We have this 193, okay, or a 139. And on the last video I was waffling on about how 139 is essentially 143. Okay, these two are kind of interchangeable here, okay, because they are both totals for the balance of the 2 columns, right? And of course the difference, if we were to minus off pi from this number here, we get if we minus off 3.14 from the 143, we will end up with 139.86. Okay, and here's our 86. It's in a bunch of places on here that's important, okay? But what I'm trying to get at is this 139 that's at the bottom here, okay, is that balance, okay? So this 3 is connected to this 139, which is balance, okay? And it's also connected to this number here, okay, which is our 173-day jump back to the completion of the cycle, back to the pi, back to being at the center of the bullseye, whatever. But these two numbers are super important at the bottom of the dartboard. Okay, and again, I don't know if I've got enough room to write it down here, but the 713 that is in the table. Okay, so you'll see 13 referenced a ton, but the 713 that's in the table. Okay, and let me show you that really quickly. Okay, here's the 713. Here's the 713 coming down this way, if you can see my cursor. And there is basically a square. Oh gosh, of course I can't do it. Why can't I get that? No, there's basically a square that starts at the top of here and comes straight down on each column here. Okay, it's a 5 by 5 square. Okay, another reference to 25 and 55. Okay, and on each corner is either the opposing here we've got a 77, and across here we've got a 3. We've also got a 53, but what would be on the corner would be this 3. So we've got a 33 on each corner, and we've got a 77, and the 53 is super important as well. And I'm going to do a couple of number jumps in the calculator real quick so you can see some of these things. But again, 713. I've talked about this before. 713 backwards is the lie, or flipped is the lie. The correct way up, though, it's not the lie. The correct way up, it's God, basically. It's the 1 between the 7 and the 3. Yeah, between God, between L, or being L. EL 37. Okay, so let's go to. Do we want to go back to this? So you can see that. You can see that we've done everything in here now. Yeah, let's just go to some number jumps really quickly. Oh, let me just do one more thing very quickly. Take a bow. I just wanted to mention this one very quickly. Take a bow. That's like at the end of the show. At the end of the show, you take a bow. Okay, that marks like dying, if you like. And the length of this is, again, this is just another Madonna thing, is 521. Okay, I thought that was interesting because it's to do with death as well. And I don't know why I just clicked on that. And in the music video, we've got a reference to the bullfighter, and I don't know if I really would want to go into it, but there is a 19 and a 25 that's referenced in that thing. So you can make the connections there for yourself on that. What else did I want to quickly mention? I want to just quickly mention the observances and holidays for the 25th of October, because there's a couple of interesting ones like Chucky, the notorious killer doll, and again back to King Chucky, and also King Chucky is Charles, by the way, just in case somebody's getting lost there. And the doll thing, again with that Gaga 911 video, that's a doll that's going in the little into the coffin, if you like, back into the little box, back into Pandora's box. I just thought it was interesting that reference is there. And also St. Crispin's Day. A lot of interesting stuff with that. I'll just run through it very quickly. Martyred twins. Again, these two are cobblers, and Crispin and Crispinian, maybe, martyred on the 25th of October, and what do I want to say about it? They're cobblers. So if you see boot references, you know, that could be a pretty good reference there. The Battle of Agincourt, the St. Crispin's Day speech in William Shakespeare's Henry V. Oh, what else is there? There's some other stuff with battles. There's a lot of stuff to do with battles on the Wikipedia page, at least. The Charge of the Light Brigade. That was the English getting their asses kicked in Crimea, I think, and I think that's what it said. And that was, again, that was a balls up there. Somebody made a mistake basically, and a whole bunch of people died because of it. And then and I think the Battle of Agincourt is also where the I want to say it's the 100 Years. I can't be bothered to click on it. I want to say it's the 100 Years War, and England, a small force of English soldiers beat a whole bunch of French. And so again, we've got the reference to the miscommunication causing a problem, again like in Doctor Strangelove, and we've also got this idea of like a small number of people regaining control back over something, if you can get my drift there. A couple of nice little references for myself with the American Civil War. I literally was in, this is the first Battle of Springfield. Fancy it mentioning that. I was just in Springfield like a few days ago. And again, the Battle of Merdocine. This is just up the road from me, and the kids at school, the kids just played Lessine, and what was the score was they beat them 50-0. So if that isn't a reference to the bullseye, I don't know what is. And I mean, it's just crazy, the references that I get. Just absolutely nuts. Anyway, that was just some stuff I wanted to put on the tail end of the video. There's a couple of other things that I forgot to mention. On the other video, on that last video, was the Coolio thing with the September the 28th. And I believe I mentioned in one of my, I want to reckon it's 4 or 5 videos back now, but I was talking about Madonna again, no doubt, and I think I mentioned September the 28th would be a date to watch for her croaking it. I think I just mentioned it in passing. It wasn't in the actual video that I did on Madonna. It was a couple of days after that, I think. But this day, why I'm coming back to this day is because I forgot to mention that Michael Jackson also dies on the same numbers. Okay, so instead of 928, he's 829. Okay, again, super interesting, and yeah, I forgot to mention it. Whoops. That's what happens in these videos. There's a whole ton of stuff that I will have forgotten out of here as well. I just can't remember it all. Let's just do a couple of number jumps, just so you can see some of those number jumps. So there's our 173. Our 172, of course, just so you can see it in the thing, is November the 9th. Our 157, okay, is October the 25th. And then let's do that 522. Again, that's not going to change. Well, the year did, but the date doesn't change. It's October the 25th. And then, what were some other ones? Well, we were just on Michael Jackson. Let's do 35 days. I can't remember what 35 days was. June the 25th. Michael Jackson's birthday. Okay, and then if we go 53 days, and the reason why that's important is because it's on the corner of that square, that 25, that 5 by 5 square, the 25 square. It takes us to 713. Okay, and then we can put in another, I think she had an 87 gematria value as well for Madonna. Put that in and it takes us to her birthday. And again, of course, the 55 is going to take us to, what does the 55 take us to? Oh, 715. Okay, so that 157 number again. So you can see how some of these numbers start to go around in circles. Yeah, I think we need to leave it there, because I really want to make this short. I've probably missed some stuff out of there, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. I think you get the drift of where we were going with that. You know, the important thing to note is that we've got all these we've got a lot of stuff shooting down from this side right here, yeah, down to here, which again is referencing back to this. I think I'm just going to call it the end of the video. You know, this is where we got to get to, you know, and it's opposite the matrix up here. Yeah, you stick your 3 darts in here, you got your 666. Okay. You stick your 3 darts in down here, well, 333 is a 9, so you got your 999. Emergency. I think that's it. You know, I can't really waffle on for any longer on this. I hope you enjoyed that. If I've forgotten anything, I'll put it in the comments if I can think of it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Yeah. All right. Cheers. Bye.